Here at Soul Love, we are always wanting to bring you something new, something original, something that you can connect with. And I have to tell you, we have a new project, someone I am collaborating with that I connected with in a big, big way. And she is going to bring so much to this new podcast called We Are Light Beings. So Carly, oh my God, I have to say that this is just so super, super exciting to be looking at you and watching you and doing this podcast for the very first time. We are light beings, because I know that we connected only recently in such a special way. And even though we are miles apart, we haven't let us stop us from starting this journey together. And I know that we haven't got a clue where it's going to take us. We are just trusting that everything that's going to come in, we know that we have a purpose. And I know that I feel especially blessed to have you in my life.
Well, thank you. I feel really blessed too, because we had one initial session, didn't we? With me facilitating a healing for you. And it was a really beautiful session because I was being shown like a 5-year plan for you by spirit. And when I first channeled that message, I didn't think it was going to be for me as well. And then over the next couple of months, you decided to tell everybody that you possibly knew about me.
That's because you are such a blessing. Honestly, it's like I feel like everyone needs to know about you, because we've all had, my journey has been so many different healing sessions. I actually call myself like a junkie. Like, I love it. I will try everything and anything, but I don't think I have met anyone that has given such profound results instantly for every single person that you have been blessed to touch. And that's why I feel like the world needs to know about you.
Oh, that's so kind. And it's funny because we're all always manifesting, aren't we? Everybody, we've all got dreams. And I've had a dream for a long time that I wanted to be part of a podcast. I knew I didn't want to do it on my own. I knew I wanted to partner with somebody, and never quite synced. And with you, it's just been so easy. And actually, I'm going to say fun. It's fun. Even when I did a healing session with you, I think it was a few weeks ago, wasn't it? And it was like a soul alignment one.
Past lives. We did the past lives.
It was past lives and then soul alignment, and it was just, it was light. And I think that's how you know when you're onto the right thing with the right person, because it's, you're not swimming against, the current. So yeah, it's really exciting to be here and both facilitate for each other. If you describe yourself as like a healing junkie that's just like constantly going for, you've met the right person.
That's why we get on so well.
Like a little healing addict.
But I feel like I'm on such a flow with my life at the moment, and I know that people are just coming into my life, and I know that's all about Matt bringing in the right people for us to just, my purpose is getting stronger, and that's why I feel that us working together, we can support one another at the same time, heal people and support them in their own journey. So I think maybe what we need to do, Carly, right now is explain a little bit about ourselves and how we came about. Well, we've kind of explained a little bit that we've come together, but how we came up with the name that We Are Light Beings. So if I just explain a little bit about my story, I came to Doha in 2018 to turn my sister's hair and beauty salon roots around. And over that time, I've been here over 8.5 years. I was lucky enough, I knew I was destined to find my soulmate. And I met him in 2021 and we got married in 23. And then in 24, 9 months later, he had a massive heart attack and passed away, which has been, as everybody's grief, just a shock to the system, and life is never the same, is it? And so through my journey, I knew instantly, Matt and I always knew that we were going to do something very special together. We just never dreamt for one moment it was going to be in different realms. And so I knew instantly, after I left him on the hospital bed, I knew that I had to work on my psychic abilities. I knew that he was always, always, always with me. And that has been reaffirmed again and again and again. And just 15 hours after he passed, I had my first message from a friend. And then about 24 hours after that, I had another message of the reason why he passed away. So my purpose and my flow now, 2.5 years later, is getting stronger and stronger. And it's all been through his support, his love, his guidance. And that's how you've come into my life, because I've had so many amazing people come into my life. And I know this is going to be a big part. And what you do for others is going to be profound. And I know that you and I have got another project which I'm super excited about, to help people on their grief journey, basically. We're going to do something together to help people on their grief journey. So that's kind of me in a bit of a nutshell. But tell us all about you, because you have had a massive journey, I think almost from the moment you were born. And you haven't had an easy life by any means, but it's brought you to where you are now.
Yeah. So everybody always wants, I've been healing professionally for 10 years. And I think once everybody has a session, I always get asked the same thing every time. How did you learn this? And I always say the same thing. Well, actually, I saw my first ghost when I was 4. I was looking in a
Wow.
mirror and there was a grey shadow of a boy behind me. And I was petrified. I hid under the covers. And I just pretty much was so scared, and fear will block so much. Fear just blocks
Yeah.
everything, but for everyone in every dynamic really in life. But then if you fast track a lot after having sort of a lot of therapy, first of all in my 20s and then in my 30s, I surrendered my life over to spirit, basically. And then everything just
Wow.
started happening. I've been seeing quite a lot of stuff for quite a long time. But the minute that I surrendered myself over, knowing that there was something much bigger than me to move through me, it all just kind of took off. And then I just started training, basically. A really beautiful healer took me under his wing because I was seeing entities and all sorts. It didn't
Oh,
start off nice. It was, it was really quite scary. And yeah,
yeah.
and then sort of within 6 months, I could see past lives, I could see chords. I'd always loved angels. I've been studying angels for about 10 years, and I knew I wanted to channel them. So then I developed that. And then in the last few years, I also went on the journey, the horrible, hideous journey, which does give you gifts, but of grief, losing my sister, and then a year
Mm.
later losing my dad. And it 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 has given me a way to heal people that if I hadn't gone through it, I wouldn't be able to heal it. No
Yeah,
healer
it's true.
can facilitate anything if they haven't been through it.
Yeah,
They won't know. And also the
absolutely.
person that's receiving the healing, they won't feel safe because they'll know that person just hasn't experienced it. So, I mean, that's a very, very fast track of
Yeah,
my
yeah.
background. But yeah, I've been doing this now for 10 years, and I can't imagine doing anything else because it gives me purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the most fulfilling thing, when you can live your life with purpose.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, I remember you telling me that sometimes you don't always get the feedback, right? You just do what you do. And I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
you telling me
Loads.
that somebody years later came to you and said, "Oh, do you remember me? I had a session with you." And you went and you thought, "Oh gosh, of course, you're not going to remember. It was years ago." And you went, "Oh, really? Oh, that's great." So, how did it work for you? And you went, she said, "Well, you just changed my life." And it was like, "Oh, that's so lovely." I don't think you realize the impact you have on people. And I guess you must also feel so blessed that you have that gift of being able to do that. But you know, you've come a long way in your own journey to you've had to understand it, to be able to facilitate it. And I think you said to me the other day that even you don't normally have spirit come through so much. You haven't really seen yourself as a medium, but even that is growing even more now.
Yeah, it's really strange when people say, I'm just so relieved that I've made somebody feel good. I'm always a
Um,
surprise, because every time I do something, and then maybe like it's a fact where I get it. Like a lady yesterday, I was tuning into her. She was in Canada, and it was on a video call, and she had these sort of spirit just kind of in my mind's eye. They showed me little arrows pointing down on her left hand shoulder. And I thought, okay, I better say that to her very quickly. I said, I know you've got issues with your left hand shoulder. I said, because they're showing me right now. She pulls her top down, and it's her whole shoulder's taped, and it doesn't look good. And I'm
wow.
surprised when it happens every time I'm
I
right.
know, you
I
must be
never think
blown
I'm
away.
be right. So
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
always
Do you know what? I was
surprised
thinking about that this morning. I was thinking you must question yourself, because even you
all
said
the
to me,
time.
"Oh, that's really good to know. Oh, really good to know," because sometimes I'm
Yeah,
really not too sure. Because
yeah.
normally you're more on the side that you just go through the guidance and you just heal. Whereas when you then suddenly got all these other things that are coming in, you're then thinking, oh, should I say that, or should I do that, or is that right, or have I got it wrong? No, you are spot on every single
Oh,
time. It's
well,
amazing,
oh,
amazing, amazing.
that's really nice. But I always want to make sure, because the problem is you've got to trust completely and get out the
Hmm.
way. And if you're too
Your ego.
confident, then my ego might come in. So I always just try and think, all
Mm,
right, I push myself to the back and I just see what comes in, and then
yeah,
it's normally okay. So that's kind of my
yeah,
method.
yeah. Well, I know that you and I are really trusting this journey, and I am so excited for it and where it's going to lead us. But of course, you know, a lot of people are going to wonder, or they're going to resonate with what we're calling this together, which is
Yeah.
we are light beings. And I think that actually came from a message that you received. That's because that's what we are. We are light beings, but a lot of people aren't always going to quite, they kind of might resonate a bit, but not really truly understand it. So tell me, what is it for you that we are light beings?
For me, we are light beings is we are a spiritual being having a dense, heavy human experience to feel all of the emotions that there are. This place is a school, a
Yeah,
not very nice one a
totally.
lot of the time. And, you know, the reason why I was hearing, and it was channeled as we are light beings, is because we can be so much more than we are, especially as we untangle from our
Mhm.
own individual story and are less identified with it.
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean that we're taking anything away from the human experience, because we are here. But we also can be beings of light. We can be a lot lighter, you know. It doesn't have to be heavy all the time. There is joy, you know. And also,
yeah,
we are light
yeah.
beings. Kind of takes away, because I see everything in energy. So if I was to tune into you right now, you know, I'm sort of seeing the chakra system. I'm seeing all the layers. I'm not seeing a heavy, dense body. I'm literally looking at your beautiful soul occupying this vehicle. That is, you know, that's a light being
Wow,
in this vehicle.
wow.
That's the way that I would see you. And that's how I
Mhm.
interpret everybody. Um, when I'm healing them. And then that's how we can channel light beings as well, like spirit animals, angels, or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But that's why I just want everyone to know about you. We've got to get you out. We've got to go viral, I tell you, because this is where, yes, you know, so many people, like, there isn't a day actually since I've met you where, like, even I said, had somebody today talking to me, and she's going through an awful lot at the moment. And I thought to myself, oh my God, you need to see Carly. Because
Oh,
whenever we've got that heavy energy, she's going through a form of grief. Whenever we go through things like that, this is where I know you can help, and they will get that profound shift. Okay, it might not be life changing, because we're all here to experience, but you can definitely assist every single person. You have so much. And I'm so excited about this podcast because I know what we're going to talk about is going to explain more about what you do, how we are light workers, how it works, how we can help ourselves. And, something I am especially passionate about is self-love, because
Yeah.
when we don't come from a place of self-love and understanding ourselves and giving ourselves that break and that understanding, whatever we go through in life we deal with in such a different way. Because when we come from a place of energy and joy and love, it's like when you practice self-love, the rest of your life just falls into place in the most beautiful way. And when we do that, then we have so much more to give everybody else.
Absolutely, and that's the thing with self-healing, with any type of healing modality that anybody chooses to use, if it's Reiki or if it's hypnotherapy or if it's, I don't know, yoga or breath work, whatever it is, you invest in that, you'll get it back tenfold. You just will, because the universe wants you to expand. It wants you to get lighter. It needs you to, because you're a vessel. It's moving through you. You're not separate to it. So any investment you do in yourself, anything at all, and everybody will always have one session with me, and then they'll say, "Oh, do I like do this again then?" And I'm like, I've got some people that come to me every 2 weeks. I've got some people that come to me once a month. It all depends what you're going through. But like, if you never service your car, it will conk out.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't,
that is exactly the way to look at it.
Yeah,
Exactly the way to look at it. It's about servicing yourself. Exactly. I don't think really people understand about grief and what it does to the body and all the rest of it. And again, I want to bring in self-love, and there are so many aspects. I'm especially passionate about all of that. So I think that for now we can look forward to our next session.
Yeah.
All right then, Carly, thank you so much.
Okay, lots of love.
Thanks for everything, and we will catch up again.
Yeah.